he is going to coordinate, because when we are interacting with professionals, even when we come across the fresh graduates, or when we come across fresh graduates who've done their masters, or uh, or have studied further after their graduation, we often get a feedback from them that uh, our UG curriculum doesn't teach them or prepare them to do research. And yes, that is our experience as well, that we are not taught to uh, do research in a proper format, actually. So we do our research, but there is a process when the students go to third year or fourth year. Yes, in our university we start this at third year level, but in other universities it starts at fourth year level, which is not really right. And we want to inculcate this research culture right from first year, because ultimately when we are planning to design the syllabus, we don't want to take up the typical thesis projects which the other students in other universities are doing. Our thesis has to be different. Our thesis has to be very application oriented, and we should come up with a project which has a strong research background. So for all these reasons, we have decided that we will inculcate the research culture right from first year in all the students, which is not happening in any other schools of architecture. And that is a big lacuna, and that hampers your career once you graduate. May you get into your post graduation, or your practice. Research is very important. And for that reason, we have started this research cell, under which we are going to take up many projects, right from research consultancy to encouraging the students to write research papers, publishing our research publications, so on and so forth. So it's quite an ambitious project which we are starting, and I'm glad that Shahid sir had joined us, and he'll be coordinating the research cell. And during our discussions, we thought, why not start with an introductory session on how research impacts the overall innovation process or design process. So that's the reason we have arranged this lecture, which we will continue for the faculties later. But this is an introductory session by Dr. Shahid. And now I would request Dr. Shahid to proceed with the lecture. So all of you, please pay attention to it, and I want all of you to write a one page report after this particular lecture. And you all have forgotten, the senior students have forgotten, that whatever guest lecture, whatever activity we have, there has to be a report by each and every person. So about the guest lectures and these kind of expert lectures. So we will start that practice again, and for each and every guest lecture, for each and every webinar you attend, there has to be one pager. I remember that I had asked all of you to attend BV Doshi sir's lecture and write a report on it, which nobody has submitted to me yet. So you can go back to that lecture, which is there on COA Social's Facebook page. Attend the lecture if you have not attended it, and submit a one pager. So you must have forgotten, but I don't forget such things generally. So so ऐसे सबमिशंस तो मैं भूलती नहीं हूँ कभी, तो आप जो भी हो टाइम पे कर दो, दैट वुड बी बेटर फॉर all of us. Then we have a proper documentation of whatever we have learned in the entire year. क्योंकि अगर आप वो लिख के नहीं रखते हो तो आप भूल जाते हो. So make it a habit to put it down on paper in whatever format. I have taught the students to summarize in a different format as well. So you can do it in any format, but that one pager has to be submitted. So वो तो असाइनमेंट है ही जो आपको देना है, लेकिन अभी जो शाहिद सर आज प्रेजेंट करेंगे उसका भी वन पेजर या whatever assignment he gives has to be submitted. Okay, over to you, Shahid sir. Thank you for taking this initiative, and let's rock. I know all my faculties always rock, and all my students will also rock in future. So, okay, so we can begin. आप मुझे जितना टाइम दोगे उतना कम ही पड़ेगा बोलने के लिए. So I'll shut up now, and before anybody else tells me to shut up, I'll just shut up and give Rashid sir an opportunity to speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Shahid Rahmat, and I am going to talk about importance of research in innovation. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Gauri Shiurkar ma'am, our director ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to interact with you people. And this is a nice forum to talk with, because you are very young mind, and in future some of you will be going to do PhD or going to do some research. Everybody does research in his or her life. Say for example, if you want to buy some product from Flipkart, you do some research. You don't only see it on Flipkart, you go for some other platform also and compare the prices and see the specification, and then finally decide to buy a product from some platform. That is a research. Research is not more than that. But since we are doing research officially, so there are some steps we have to follow, each one has to follow. So the first question is, what is research? So research can be defined as an organized inquiry carried out to provide information for solving problem. So here we need to have a problem. If a problem is not there, don't go into that domain and don't try to solve that, because most of the researchers, they first they search the topic, they like it, and they try to create a problem and then try to solve it. So that is not a research. So what is a research? Research is a process. It is a step-by-step process. So there is two part of research. One is re and another is search. So it is not that you are only searching or you have only searched. In past, lots of people have gone and searched, and now you will stand forward and you are saying, now I will search. So what is the benefit of search? If lot of people have already what is the benefit of searching if lot of people have already searched? So there will be some changes, or there will be some changes in the results perhaps, or in the process. So either you want to simplify the process, or you want the process to be efficient, or you want better results. So anyway, you are doing research. But what is innovation? A lot of time we hear the word innovation. So what is innovation? Can you decide that, okay, I will do some innovation? No, you can't. Innovation happens. It is not decided. Like like say for example, you are using all using 4G mobile, and then MI comes with a new mobile with 4 GB RAM, and then Samsung comes with 5 GB RAM. Is that an innovation? Is that a jump from previous technology to a newer technology? No, that is not an innovation. If you want to see the innovation, you should see the entire process from 1G to 5G. A jump from first generation of mobile phone to second generation of mobile phone. In first generation of mobile phone, only army people were using the mobile or the phone. But in second generation, all of us had a mobile in our hand. So this is innovation. When there is a drastic change. So someday you come to me and say, sir, I want to do some research. I say, okay, do it. Then you say, I want to design a colorful keypad for 2G mobile. Then I will say, okay, so what is the benefit? So you say, sir, there is no colorful keypad for a 2G mobile. So I want to do a better keypad for 2G mobile. But is that contextual? What is the benefit of designing a new keypad for a much older technology? If that is a research, if you are able to do some modification in the keypad, that is a research, but it is not context. It is not contextual because technology has gone so far ahead, and now people are talking about face recognition or maybe artificial intelligence, or maybe with 5G there will be Internet of Things or virtual reality, and you are talking about like modification in 2G mobile. So the most important thing is context. So from where you will get the context? You will get the context from literature. That is the benefit of literature study. So you go to Google platform. There is one site on Google, that is Google Scholar. You go and put your keywords like, okay, I want to do this thing. Then there will be some paper will be appearing in front of you, and sort you will sort out the paper according to the date of publication. And you will see that the technology you want to develop has been developed 40 years ago, and now it is out of context. Since 3-4 years nobody is talking about it. So you will not go for that. What you will do, you will try to search in Google Scholar that in your topic of interest, what is happening now, and that is the context. So context is today what is happening. If you can catch that train, you will reach to your destination. Otherwise, what is the benefit of doing that kind of research, which has already obsolete 30 years ago? Then you will say, okay, now I will try to find a topic which is contextual. But you think again, whatever you want to develop, does that have an impact? Then you will ask, impact on what? Impact on what? Then I will say whether it is a social impact or economical impact or environmental impact. That is fine for me. But if you want to just earn a degree or get some project, earn a money, that is not a research which we are looking for. We are looking for a research which has an impact on the society, on the economics of the society or the environment. That is the relevance of your research. So now coming to research in architecture. So in architecture, there are a lot of topics on which people are doing research. We will come to that. And if we say each of us, each of the architect is a researcher, because when you select a site, from selecting site to final deliver of the building, every time you do some research and do find some options and come to a conclusion. But in scientific research, there are some other processes. So there are two ways of doing research. One is qualitative and another one is quantitative. So what is qualitative research? Qualitative research is argument based. Qualitative research is argument based. For example, a lot of scientists have said something, and you want to carry forward those arguments. So you just give arguments, and the chain of arguments should be very precise, and it is very difficult also. This kind of argumentative kind of research is very difficult because you don't have data to prove anything. You just have arguments, perceptions, and opinions. So normally this kind of research is very difficult, and normally researchers don't go into that domain. Only experts who are experts of the domain do some qualitative research. The second type of research is quantitative research, where we have data or statistics to prove something. So at our level, we will looking for the quantitative research. So from where we get the data? Data has two sources. One is primary and another is secondary. So what is the primary data? Primary data is the data which you collect through surveys or sampling or different methods or experiments. And secondary data is that someone else has collected and you are using that data for your research. So there are some sources of data at district level, like District Census Handbook, or Indian Space Program also collects some remote sensing imagery. That is also important. Then District Statistical Handbook or topo sheets. These are some examples of secondary data which some other agencies are collected, and you are using that data. So, but it is very important to give citation to the source. If you are not giving the citation for the agency which has collected the data, you are doing some plagiarism. So don't do that. Give them citations. Then coming to the steps of research. So these are different kind of research, like correlational research, where we have correlation with some output variable, or these are the steps. So in these steps, first we formulate the aim of our research. So what is the aim of the research? And then we break the aim into certain objectives. So normally we have 3 to 4 objectives. So each of the objective is just a step towards reaching the aim. So sometimes I have seen some students to write, they have written some research paper and aim is different and objective doesn't lead to the aim. So this is not the way to formulate the objective. And then you put some research questions. So research question or any question is a sentence where you can put a question mark. That is very important. So if you are putting a research question, so see, can we put a question mark after that sentence? And if yes, then are we able to answer that question? If there is no answer, then the research question is a vague. It is vague. Then we do some put some hypothesis. So hypothesis just is not different from research question. It is just another way to put your argument. So in a hypothesis also there is null and alternative hypothesis, and there are some sampling errors like type 1 and type 2 error, which we will discuss perhaps in our classes. And then there are some topics on which recently people are doing research in architecture, like green buildings or sustainability or energy efficiency. Or there are different other way is isms like modernism, postmodernism. So these are very argumentative kind of research. And then people are doing research on construction techniques, building materials, or application of drones, perhaps in construction. Uh, After collecting the data and reviewing the literature, we do some analytics with the data, and that is a big and large process. So different ways of doing analytics, and nowadays people are doing machine learning. So what is machine learning? So machine learning is just training the machine, and your machine is the computer. So training your software or your computer for a particular data, and when the new data is fed, it automatically gives the result. And based on that, people are uh, designing some machines, and those machines are based on artificial intelligence. So these are some domains uh, where things are happening. Then we write the conclusions, or what are the results and what is the interpretation of that result, and how your result is better than the previously got results. And there will be some conclusions, and most importantly, future direction of the research. So each research gives other researchers a direction that, okay, I have done this much thing. This thing is remaining, and future researcher can go in that direction. So you can ask, if a person knows that this is remaining, so why does he do the research and finishes that research? So the answer is no research is complete in isolation. Research is just a series of experiments. So some researcher has done some experiments or got some result, and you are improving that result. Someone else will come and improve your result. So no research is complete in a sense. So don't try to finish a research topic. You just put the research ahead what people have done till now. So research paper. So I'm discussing the format of a research paper, and so there will be abstract. Uh, so it starts with the abstract. So what is the abstract? So it is the gist of the research paper. So one thing one should keep in mind, that abstract should be written when your paper is finished. I have seen a lot of researchers just writing an abstract. Is not the way. When your research is finished, when your results are out, then only you can write an abstract. Then there are different components of an abstract. So first is the introduction, where you write the motivation and what is the topic. You just introduce the topic, and then problem identification. So 2-3 lines of problem, what other researcher have done, and what problem exist. Then what are your methods and what are your results, and you write most significant results of your paper, and then conclusions. So you, when you write the conclusion, you also write what is the future direction. So this is the proper way of writing an abstract. Then coming to the next topic, which is okay. So in perhaps in next session, we will take research paper writing, because it is a very long topic and it will take more than 1 hour. So now, with thanks, I want to conclude the presentation. If you have any question, you can raise your questions. Over to you, Gauri ma'am.
I have lost my connection. So, am I there in the meeting or not?
Yes, ma'am. You are here.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much, Hai sir, for the introduction, introducing research to students. And right, as you rightly mentioned, research is, we do research in every small thing, right? Right from buying a toothbrush to why do you buy a toothbrush of a particular brand? Because we see advertisements, and then we have the data from all the advertisements, and then out of that we select one toothbrush. So it's, the research is involved in every small purchase we do, and in our daily life. So it's just a matter of understanding the process and doing it in the right way, you know. So it's not something very difficult. It's quite easy. You just need to understand the process and follow the right process. And to promote the research, we already have circulated one competition, which is a research conference, which is being organized by DY Patil Loga, and I had circulated it in the third year and fourth year group, and I expect a few students to participate in that conference by writing a proper research paper, for which you can get in touch with Shahid sir and and submit a research paper for the conference. And I am really keen that at least 10 students should submit their research papers. And for me, actually, all the fourth yearites should must submit a research paper, and a few from the third year students as well, because you are also preparing for your subject called design research. So third year and fourth year students, please take it up. That is the one thing which I wanted to tell. The second is, we are proposing a conference, a students conference, which is an international students conference, uh, which will focus on character of a city. Basically, right now we are preparing the brief of the conference, and it will not be actually writing a research paper, but it's going to be a photographic documentation. The title is intended, we are still working on the title. The title will be My City Through My Lens. So it's going to be a photographic documentation along with a write-up on your city. It can be a story of your city. It can be an article on your city. So wherever you are right now, it's not going to be difficult for you to click photographs of your city and come up with a story of your city, about your city. And we intend to publish a document of all the selected photographs and articles in the form of a book or a journal kind of a thing. So we need all your support, and we are planning to make it international, with spreading the word across different countries and different schools of architecture from different countries, where if you have few friends who are studying or doing their masters abroad, please get in touch with them. Soon we'll be coming up with a brief, and we'll also need your support to design the poster and then circulate the poster in your communities and in your student communities and within your contacts. So we plan to do it in March. So by this weekend, we will be, in next 2 days, we'll be ready with our brief, which we will be able to give it to you. And your graphics team needs to prepare a nice poster on it. You can start when you, once you know what we have in mind, then you can start working on that poster immediately. The changes can be done once you get the brief, but brief is not going to be different than whatever I am saying. Every city has a character which is developed due to the architecture of that particular city, or the monuments of the particular city, or the traditions of the particular city. So the culture and traditions, architecture, everything will decide the identity of a city, and that has to reflect through the photographs and through the article or story, whatever you write regarding that particular city. So that's the idea behind the whole conference, and it's going to be purely a students conference. Yes, you can take a mentor and for writing, and the mentor will guide you for your proposal. So please participate in large numbers, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to, you will also understand your city through this particular research. And yes, to write that particular article or that particular story about your city, you will need to research. So you will need to read, you will need to inquire, and then write about it. So I need your support in terms of participation and in terms of getting participants from all over the country and all over the world. Okay, it's again quite an ambitious project, but then I believe that one should have high goals and high aims, because I believe that not failure but low aim is crime. So let us all aim for the moon and do our best, and it's going to be fun. There'll be so much of and every different idea and different team of photographs, and just do it to the best of our abilities. So that's it from my side. Thank you, Shahid sir, once again. And the students can, I hope the students can log out. Rutuja madam, Minal madam, what is okay?
Yes, ma'am. I think so. Students can log out now, so we can continue.
Okay. Okay.
So all are requested to log out. Thank you so much for being there, and I hope whatever ma'am has said will come up as whatever she has dreamed about. So participate in the research